As we all know, just because a game isn't very well known does not make it bad. Many games are overlooked in favor of others that were just released to greater fanfare. This game first appeared in arcades as Magic Sword Heroic Fantasy in the summer of 1990. 2.5 years later, it found its way to the Super Nintendo. Personally, I never knew about this game until I started working on a future A to Z video, and when I sat down to play this one, I just felt like it deserved more than just a 20-second blurb in an A to Z. Magic Sword is a side-scrolling action-adventure platform game with elements often found in dungeon crawlers. You control a loincloth-clad guy named Alan, often simply referred to as the Brave One, as you hack and slash and cast spells, battling through monsters and villains as you ascend the levels of this tower to get to the top and face off with the evil Lord Drakhamar. It's a pretty generic story, but that's what you get from arcade games back then. Along the way, you find keys to open doors. Behind these doors, you may find a number of potential allies along the way, but be careful, as sometimes these doors and treasure chests will be hiding traps. When you rescue a potential ally, they will follow you around and attack when you do, jump when you do, basically shadowing your every move. The allies can be one of several different types: a wizard, a cleric, a knight, a thief, an Amazon, a big man, a ninja, and a lizard man, all of which have projectile weapons, but the first two will not attack unless your magic meter is full. While they're both very powerful, especially with the amount of damage that the priest does to the undead, you may find the others a little bit more useful, all of which are quite effective, but they all have their own shortcomings. For example, the big man is very slow, and the thief's bombs lack range. The Knight is considered one of the best in the game, but the Lizard Man is my personal favorite. It's kinda neat to get one of those dragon monsters on your side for once. As you fight and find items, your allies will level up, making their attacks more powerful. Visually, the game isn't too much to write home about. It's fairly typical for the era. However, it is all very true to the arcade version and has some really neat visual effects, like the heat lines rising from the levels with fire pits. There is a pretty large variety of the styles and colors of the monsters you encounter, and the little red demons kind of remind me of Firebrand from Ghouls and Ghosts and Demon's Crest. Sound effects are somewhat mediocre, but the game has excellent music composed by Manami Matsume, best known for her work on the original Mega Man as well as a number of other classic games. While I feel that the controls are decent, there were times with the platforming where I would think I was going to overshoot a platform, so I would tap back on the controller and completely fall short. Thankfully, the spikes and fire pits do not do that much damage. Overall, the actions in the game are very simple. You attack, you jump, you open doors and treasure chests, and you have a screen nuke which kills or damages everything at the expense of some health. Sometimes the enemy placement and respawning can be rather annoying, but I reckon this was a quarter muncher back in the arcades, and things like that are to be expected from this kind of game. You do get a few continues to help you ascend to the top, and you can choose to start as far up as the 33rd floor, leaving you with just the final third of the game to complete. One major gripe about the Super Nintendo game is the lack of a two-player co-op mode. The arcade version did have it, and not unlike Final Fight, Capcom chose to omit it for the Super Nintendo port. All in all, the game really surprised me. I really wasn't expecting all that much, but once I picked it up, I had a heck of a time putting it back down and ended up finishing it over the course of a weekend. If you want to check this game out for yourself, the Super Nintendo version will set you back $20 to $25 for a loose cartridge. But if you're more interested in seeing what the arcade version had to offer, a port of that was made available on Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2 for the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, as well as a Capcom Arcade Collection for the PSP. It was also bundled with Final Fight on Xbox Live Arcade under the name Final Fight Double Impact. In closing, I like this game. It mixes together a couple different genres and does a fairly respectable job in doing so. It's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but it does get a thumbs up in my book. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. If you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. Also, you can get in touch with me on various social media outlets. You can find the links to those down in the description of this video. New videos are uploaded every Monday and occasionally on Thursdays as well. Once again, thank you for watching. Take care.